course, I'm talking about Senator Cruz. He went to meet the press and had a couple of fun words to say about dingy, dirty Harry Reid. So let's take a listen. This is less than a minute, folks. So just let's hear what Ted Cruz has to say about his friend from the Senate.
My colleague Kelly O'Donnell talked to one of the Senate's most outspoken voices, Ted Cruz of Texas, Republican, about who is to blame for nothing getting done. Watch this.
There is only one member of the U.S. Senate that has control over the agenda, and that is the majority leader. I can't control.
Well, folks, it appears that we had another one of those technical difficulties where we get about half the clip and it decides it wants to go silent. But to summarize what Senator Cruz said, he's like, I can file the bills, but one person controls that agenda on the what sees the Senate floor, regardless of what happens in committee, and that's currently the Senate Majority Leader, Harry Reid. And if bills don't get voted on, even if they pass the House, they never see the floor of the Senate to even come up for a vote to see if they're going to start debate on it. Well, that traffic's all controlled by Harry Reid, which is really a shame because if you look at the Constitution, Harry Reid should not have that power at all. Zero, zilch, not a none. Unfortunately, and I said unfortunately given current circumstances, but the one person who is supposed to have that kind of control is the President of the Senate, who holds the office of President of the Senate. No, it's not Obama. It is the Vice President, mob member, Union Jack Joe Biden, our favorite Teamster thug. So he is supposed to be sitting in the Senate, controlling the Senate floor, etc. So if he's not, and it's Harry Reid controlling what's being seen, then my big question is, hey, Joey, why aren't you doing your job? Oh, yeah, because he's a union lover. So as a typical union lover, he doesn't want to do his job. He just wants to get paid 3 times what it's worth. Anyway, I digress. But that was the long and short of what Senator Cruz had to say about dingy Harry Reid. Meanwhile, if you go over to BuzzPo, there's some wise words concerning our current Chief Executive Officer of the United States, coming from Stephen King. No, not the horror writer. The horror writer probably would not say anything negative about Obama. He kind of likes him. He kind of likes tyrants. Probably because they give him lots more to write about because they create the horrors that people must live through. Giving a hack like the writer Stephen King, something to write about. Guys, look, my first, foray into the college world was to achieve a degree in English literature. And Stephen King, the writer Stephen King, that is, ain't literature. He is the furthest from. He's bad pulp with bad grammar, and in some cases bad spelling too. But talking about instead Representative Stephen King, a Republican out of Iowa, and he has some words regarding Obama. Now this is something for you guys to kind of think about. And before I play this, I just want to mention that I garnered this clip. Well, I garnered it through BuzzPo, but it's posted over at YouTube by a birther organization, and I just want to put it out there beforehand. I'm not a birther, and even if I were, there are little things about the laws of being naturalized versus being natural born American that even if I were a birther, it still kind of completely defeats the whole argument of he wasn't born here when you look at the laws. But that's beside the point. Let's listen to what Representative Steve King, not Stephen, but Steve King, Republican from Iowa, congressman from Iowa, has to say. Ooh, technical difficulties again. The converter didn't convert that one very well. So we'll have to see if we can get that redone and look at it tomorrow, or listen to it tomorrow, as I should say. But over at BuzzPo, again, great site. New site, been around for about almost 6 months now, but about 5 months. They get some good snarky news up there, as well as some good snarky commentary, and some straight-laced news too. Some hard news. But basically, Representative King said Obama's biggest failures as a president stem from the fact that, and I quote, his vision of America is not like our vision of America. And that is so very true, folks. If you have not seen it yet, and I know it's kind of an older movie now, but Dinesh D'Souza's 2016, it raises some serious questions and kind of gives you another perspective, if you've never seen the movie, to kind of look at the whole Obama administration through. Gives you another perspective to kind of process your data from. I'm not saying that Dinesh is 100% right or 100% wrong. I'm not saying I necessarily agree with him or don't agree with him. I'm just saying that he offers a unique perspective that kind of makes you think a little bit about things. So go and find the movie, order it on Netflix or what have you, and watch 2016 or read Dinesh's book. And then after you do that, of course, go out and find your local theater that has Dinesh's new movie, America, and watch that, because that'll kind of give you some insight into some things too. Of course, kind of preaching to the choir a little bit here, so bring one of your liberal friends to sit and watch it. But go and get that. And from what I understand, Dinesh has a book out of the same name that's coming out that's kind of further explains what he was saying in the movie America. But this one is the reverse of 2016. 2016, and the book came out first. In the case of America, it's the exact reverse. America is kind of like a continuation. The book is a continuation of the documentary, so it starts with the documentary. Oh, wow. New story over at BuzzPo, at least at early this morning. If you're listening to the podcast, it'll probably be a little bit further down the timeline there. But I kind of heard about this before, at least heard rumors of this. But I guess it's confirmed now. Sarah Palin is launching her own internet video channel by subscription. It's going to be kind of similar to The Blaze. It's going to cost $9.95 a month, or $99.95 for a year. Which, when you think about it, is a little bit cheaper, because that means you're paying for 11 months and getting 12. Active duty soldiers can get it for free. So if you're on active service and you can't get you enough Sarah, go ahead and go to the site and log it in for free. But go ahead over to BuzzPo and look it up. It's a good write-up here. And here's a little quote from Sarah here. It says, from Miss Palin, from Governor Palin, it says, I want to let me start again, folks. I want to talk directly to you on our channel, on my terms, and no need to please the powers that be. Together, we'll go beyond the sound bites and cut through the media's politically correct filter. Sarah, does that mean you're going to start swearing on your channel? I hope the response to that is not. You betcha. But, yeah, having certain catchphrases beeped because somebody doesn't want you to see things without sugarcoating and rose-colored glasses, that will be refreshing. But It says here that Palin's channel is kind of modeled her show after Glenn Beck's on the Blaze. So that'll be interesting to see a Blaze clone, or the female side of the Blaze, I guess. Well, you kind of have that with Dana Lash's show, I guess. But yeah, go ahead and read the rest of the article, and there's a lot more information about about Sarah Palin's new channel if you head on over there. And trying to look at other ridiculous things coming over the past weekend. Of course, former Black Panther Bobby Rush, Representative Rush, is under investigation for corruption. He's a Democrat out of Illinois. So, no surprise there. He'll fit right in with the last several governors. Maybe Pat Quinn might be heading that same way too, so it'll just be another in a chain of left-wing Democrat governors of Illinois that have ended up in jail. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems to me that the last governor of Illinois not to end up with criminal charges or criminal conviction against him while in office or just after leaving office was Governor Thompson, who happened to be a Republican, and he was the governor when I was growing up, so we're talking like 70s and 80s time frame since I actually remember him. So I guess Illinois likes its jailbirds in charge. It likes to have felons in charge of making sure felons don't commit felonies. I don't know, folks. Maybe that's why Illinois has those really draconian gun laws, is because the state is run by criminals, so they want the law-abiding people to be disarmed and potential victims. Yeah. Actually, that makes a lot of sense. No snark, no tongue-in-cheek. It's an honest assessment. So, to those of you listening in Illinois, when you cast your ballots, think about that. Well, also, I guess I'm kind of glad I retired from the military, because although one good thing that's come out of the military is now they allow for people of my particular faith to get our religious emblems on our gravestones. So I can now have Thor's hammer, Mjolnir, on my headstone after I pass. And Wiccans can get a pentacle, I guess. I prefer to have a tree on mine, but yeah, I'll settle for Mjolnir. Mjolnir's kind of cool. I like it. Anyway, and it's a warrior emblem, so it fits. But outside of that step forward in religious liberty for our soldiers, Kevin Fobbs filed this one over at BuzzPo. But evidently, some members of the military are being told they cannot attend, or their children cannot attend, or they're kind of being told to avoid Vacation Bible School. Folks, I might not be Christian, but I'm going to tell you one thing. If you're a Christian and you're in the military and you want your kids to go to Vacation Bible School, that's your right. First Amendment protects it. And guess what? The last time I checked, the kids may be your military dependents, but they haven't signed a contract. So they're not directly subject to the UCMJ. Anyway, in a small country church in Carthage, Missouri, wanted to have a special Vacation Bible School just for military kids, those who wanted to attend, and they opened their doors. And it says right here that the having a theme calling the military God's Rescue Squad was against military policy. So National Guard troops were not allowed to participate. They were not allowed to send their kids there. They were not allowed to go and interact. I mean, we're talking about members of the same church possibly not being allowed to go to their church because they didn't want to display this kind of a message. You know, when I served in the National Guard before I went active duty, and I took an oath to two constitutions. One was the state of Illinois Constitution, and of course the other was the federal Constitution. And last time I checked, there's a little phrase in the First Amendment of the United States Constitution that says that the government can, the legislature and the executive office can pass no laws or enact no regulations or policies to either A, set a national religion, or B, to restrict the free practice of religion by other people. Translation: this regulation within the National Guard, which makes it legally and lawfully makes it a spin-off of an executive order, be it from the governor of the state or the president. That means that either the state of Illinois or the federal government, by proxy through saying this, is infringing upon the free practice thereof. And that is another erosion of our Constitution. That means that they're violating the Constitution. The very people who have took an oath to uphold and defend it are now ordering other people who took an oath to uphold and defend it to not be allowed to defend it. There's a problem with that. It's a serious problem with that. And that's what's going on throughout our whole country. We have people who have sworn oaths and don't care about their oaths. And unfortunately, those are the ones in charge. The people who still want to follow them are not the ones in charge, but they take those oaths to heart. So, ladies and gentlemen, take a look at that. Take a look around at what's going on. Take a look at the hypocrites out there. Go ahead and shed some sunlight on them, because sunlight is the greatest disinfectant. Well, that's about it for this Monday, July 28th, 2014. We'll be back here tomorrow. That'll be Tuesday, with another hour-long show. Hopefully some provocative things to discuss, as well as hopefully some humor in there as well, and maybe even a longer rant coming from me, depending on what the subjects of the day bring. So you all have a great Monday, and we'll see you right back here tomorrow morning. All right, thanks, guys. Bye-bye.